ready.
Yeah, let's do this. We have a hard out. We gotta go and watch Taylor Swift and make clowns of us all.
We are clowning hard today. Hey Casey,
Hi, Ashley.
how you doing?
I'm great.
Welcome to Nostalgic Nightcaps. What do we do here?
Here we talk about the movies, books, TV shows, pop culture, etc. Of the things that we grew up with and still love to this day. And we kind of just talk them through and analyze and critique and pair with a drink, a cocktail, a coffee drink, mocktail, what have you.
Yeah, whatever we're feeling.
Whatever we want, because this is ours.
This is ours. This is our place. We make the rules. Okay. This week we are talking about Center Stage, the movie, which just happened to be, this is its 25th anniversary this month.
I I just saw that.
I had no idea when I picked it. May 12th, 2000. How perfect.
But also I'm withering
Yeah,
away. Old,
it's
as in
rough.
I'm old. Sorry. We're
No,
like,
it's
wait.
what?
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
I know it does just it makes you feel old.
It's okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so I just turned 35.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I did cry. We went to high tea, went to afternoon tea. And I did
Yes.
cry at
Oh,
tea because I was just like, everything is just, oh, what is happening? Time is
I
moving
know
too quickly.
it's too much.
And then I was
It
really
takes
embarrassed, but it's fine.
okay. It's tea. What happens at tea stays at tea.
Yeah.
And on the podcast for everyone to know.
Yeah.
But this movie, if you're not aware, is about ballet,
hmm
which only
hmm
ballet movie I know of, kind of. There's
Well,
one that's kind of
I mean,
ballet and
Save the
belly
Last
dance.
Dance,
Yeah,
right?
after I said that, I was like, okay, there's another one. But
We always do like a double feature with this one.
yeah, yeah. So we'll get into to the movie. But first, I'll tell you about our drink we're having, which pairs perfectly. I like to call it drink it all, bitch.
Ashley was really afraid. She said, "Oh my God, there's a swear. There's a
Is
swear
that
in the drink
is that
name."
allowed? Are we allowed to say that? Look, we don't. I just we hadn't had a drink with it, so.
Well, thank you for checking with me, the MPAA of podcasts.
Yes, we're gonna be banned. So what it is, and you'll find out if you haven't seen the movie why it pairs well. But you are going to take 1.5 ounces of tequila, a half ounce of orange liqueur, 1.5 ounces of coconut cream, and a half ounce of lime juice. So it's a nice little coconut margarita. You just shake it all up, have it over ice. You can blend it if you want, if you're fancy. I'm not. I just have it shaken. But it is delicious.
Those margaritas looked so good. The frozen ones
Right?
in the movie looked really good.
Yes.
Yeah, good
Yes.
choice.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yes. Do you have it?
I do.
Or are you
It's
drinking
right
something
here.
else? Are you cheating? As we do. Oh, that's cute. It's like creamy. I like that. I like
Yeah,
the
because it's
coconut.
coconut
That's good.
cream.
That's a really good addition. I've made a couple of virgin margaritas because they're super
Oh,
easy if you have fruit.
yeah,
And like then they don't get too sugary or anything. And
right.
I think the coconut is like a really is really genius to add to that as well.
Yeah. I had a coconut margarita at a Mexican restaurant a while back and had to make my own. Delicious.
I love that.
Also, I think I said a half an ounce of lime juice. That's not what I meant. I meant the juice of half of a glass,
You
which
know
may be the
what?
same amount. However much lime juice you want.
Do you? I don't even like follow recipes, right? I'm just
I
like,
know. I just put some stuff and I'm like, that's about that much.
yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Yes.
and squeezing. Anyways, tequila's great. I drank some tequila this weekend. I drink a lot of things this weekend.
Yeah.
But I've been on a little bit of a tequila kick.
It's good stuff sometimes. I
Hmm.
I got mine at Costco, so I will have tequila for days.
That tequila is so good. It's the same as the fancy stuff.
Yeah. They had a bunch of different like, comparable ones. I got
Yeah.
the Cristalino all
Ooh.
clear tequila.
Yeah, when we used to have a Costco membership, we like always bought alcohol there because it's
Yeah.
just
It's
so
so
good.
cheap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we don't have room for Costco in this life, in this studio apartment.
Yeah. It's rough. You can find some stuff that's good for two people, but a lot of times it's a lot.
And they're not really convenient
Mm,
to get
yeah,
to with our wagon that we use
true.
for. I'm
Yeah.
just drinking wine out of a fancy glass. So.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
What is it? Chardonnay?
I believe it's a Pinot Grigio, a
Okay.
box in box form, if you will.
Nice. Love it.
I was really like riding high with like tea, but then also I gotta support all of my sides, like trashy and
Yeah.
high tea and whatnot.
Yeah. You gotta channel your inner Eva, your Jody, your Maureen, your Eric O. Jones.
I have
Love
so
him.
I love him. Oh my God, I have so much to say about every single one of these characters. And the
Yes.
last scene of the movie I could talk about for roughly 20 hours.
Oh my
However,
God.
we got to get into it. We
Yeah.
got to see the American Music Awards tonight.
Yes, we do. Okay. So let's talk about center stage. This movie, our main character, Jodie Sawyer from Indiana. Da, da, da.
And you could tell, okay, because I moved away from there, so I don't
Yeah.
not like that. But
Casey's
she,
rolling her eyes hard.
sorry, I found her to be so hard to watch
Yeah. Yeah. It was
in
kind of rough.
multiple ways, like acting wise, like the character wise. I was just kind of like all around. Everyone else is so much more interesting than you are.
Yeah. And I honestly think that was kind of what they were going for in a way. Like even though she was the main character, like I don't know, it wasn't really about her.
No, I said that this would have been so good as a TV series.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted so much more of was the boys, for one.
Hmm.
I wanted all
Hmm.
those men. I wanted their backstory. I wanted everything. I wanted more of Eric for sure. I loved him. And more of everyone, really. But it's Jodie too, because she's just kind of like nothing.
Yeah, she didn't, I mean, like her whole thing was just like the boys. Like she didn't really have her own thing, except for that she wasn't very
Hmm.
good at dancing.
No, and she wasn't.
So we have her. We have Eva Rodriguez, Zoe Saldana.
This was her her movie debut and Jodie's
Yes.
as well. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I understand why Zoe Saldana has the career she has.
Right. Yeah. Her acting was so much better.
She was so good in this. She was so good.
Yeah. I will say, we have Maureen also, who's like, she's been at this ballet school. It's the American Ballet Academy, which feeds into the American Ballet Company. They're all trying to get a spot in the company. They can only take three boys, three girls at the end of the year at the workshop. So they're all trying to get in. But Maureen has been at this school since she was 9 years old, and her mom works there. And she's supposed to be this like huge bitch. Everyone says she's this huge bitch, which I don't know. This time around, I had a lot different feelings about her and about Eva.
Same. Actually, same. Yep.
Yeah. Like, I used to be like, Eva, she's just her. She's just speaking her mind. This time I was like, hey, you're actually kind of a bitch. What is wrong with you?
They're just trying to teach you.
Right.
You need to
Yeah.
be on time to class and listen to what they're
Hmm.
saying. I don't know what else to tell you.
Exactly.
You wanted this.
Yeah. Yeah. Which even in the beginning, like she says she doesn't really want it. She's like, I'm not even gonna go. It's kind of like
Yeah.
they get into later that it's kind of she's just trying to protect herself. It's like a defense mechanism that she's acting like she doesn't really care.
Then give me more of why. I want to know why.
Right. I think what they were trying to go for is like she's from where's she from? Boston, I think they said.
Boston. Yeah.
And I don't know. She's like, I don't know, just like acts like she doesn't care
Tough,
about anything,
tough
which
girl. She's just a
tough
tough
girl,
girl.
yeah. But I don't know. It doesn't really,
She smokes cigarettes and drinks beer.
yeah, and doesn't care about class, about their status, which is fine. But you are kind of just wasting everyone else's time too.
Yeah, exactly. I thought like I was like interested, but I was also like, but you we just didn't get enough of any character really, except for like I
Yeah.
feel like Marine was
Mm.
actually like the most dimensional character in the
Yeah,
entire
the most
movie.
developed. You got the most of her like backstory of why she is the way she is.
Like, why do we
Um,
get more of Cooper than we do of Eva? That makes no sense. This is
I
stupid.
know. Yeah. Yeah. It really didn't make any sense. But I still love Eva. Not,
Yeah, oh,
not
absolutely. 100%.
yeah. But Maureen really wasn't that bad, and it was
No.
really all just because of her mom. That's just how she was raised, and yeah. Then we have Charlie, who moved from Seattle, and his girlfriend dumped him to be there, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's straight." Which, by the way, can you believe the amount of bi erasure in this movie? For crying out loud.
I can. I can absolutely believe
I
that.
mean, I can too for the year 2000.
Charlie, the actor, was not an actor. He was a dancer for sure, and you could tell.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
He's such a cutie patootie though. I really liked him actually.
yeah. I liked him too. I didn't think his acting was too bad.
I thought his acting was better than Jodie's, who's an
Hmm.
actress.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, Jodie was before this, she was primarily ballet dancer, and then she got some other roles after.
Yeah, so that actress has been in Pretty Little Liars, she's been in One Tree Hill. She did a lot of
Hmm.
things afterwards. And I will tell you from what I remember from Pretty Little Liars, it didn't get much better. To be fair, that
And
show is shit though.
One Tree Hill is also where Peter Gallagher was from, or no?
No,
Was that the OC?
what?
The
No.
OC.
I cannot
Okay,
believe you're
I'm
from.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, he is from the OC. I cannot even believe you would do that to me on this our podcast.
I'm sorry. I didn't watch them.
Peter Gallagher is in this movie, and he is
Yes,
so fine. Such a
yes.
fine man.
Hmm. The eyebrows, they just command your attention.
I know at one point he was holding a cup, like a mug, and I was just
Yeah,
staring at him. I was just like, I
yeah,
don't know. It was like I was staring at his hand. I was like, just taking a minute.
yeah. He plays Jonathan Reeves, the director of the company. Kind of an ass. He's just like very blunt and like,
Mhm.
most of you are not going to make it anywhere in dancing pretty much. But, you know,
To be
he's just
fair, the
being
things he
realistic.
had to say were true statements. He
That's
could have
true.
been nicer.
Yeah,
The Jodie was not doing her best, and Eva was not putting an effort.
that's true. It is true. Yeah, and I mean he noticed later down the line when Maureen started to not care as much, he could tell, and
Mhm.
he picks up on things. And then we have Cooper Nielsen.
Cooper
Mm,
Nielsen.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I have so much more to say about him than I have ever had to say about him. First of
Yeah,
all, that man looks like an asparagus. Like I have no, I kept not like he doesn't like actually, but like I kept being like, who is that? He reminds me of something, and I swear to God, I was like asparagus. I
it's
think
an
he's just like
asparagus.
he's so
He
lengthy,
is,
and the way
yeah,
he moves is just kind of like asparagus.
kind of kind of wiggly.
He's just wiggly.
Yeah,
He is a great dancer. He's
he
such a great
is.
dancer.
Yeah,
I loved watching him. Him
yeah.
and
He
Charlie were really good.
is a professional dancer with the American Ballet Theater, which this
Mhm.
whole thing is kind of based on. And then he did, just like the movie, become a choreographer
Oh,
later on.
interesting.
So, and then also Kathleen Donahue's character, Julie Kent, she is also a professional dancer with the American Ballet Theater. And I think those were the ones that were Zoe Saldana also had a little bit of ballet training, but that wasn't her main thing.
Okay, so apparently, like of all of the background people were dancers, and
Mhm.
I can't remember her name, but the main instructor woman who I
Mm.
loved this time around.
Hmm.
Who she has a really cool backstory too. She's been in theater, she's a singer. She was the voice of Mother Gothel in Tangled.
Oh, interesting.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
When she was telling the students what to do and like calling out their names, those were the actual names of the dancers, which
Mm.
I found to be
Okay. I
interesting. Yeah.
didn't see that. That is interesting. I did like her too. In the past, I was like, she's terrible. She's so
Yeah.
rude. But no, not at all.
I had the same reaction as Eva, where I was like, what a nosy bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the way she says that.
Yes.
I don't know. It's so fun.
But yeah, I mean, she really like cared about her and she really wanted to help her and she did like help her grow and
She was really good at facial acting.
yeah, her expressions were really good. Especially like when Eva walked out of class. There's a scene where so the teacher, what was her name? I can't remember. What was her name?
I don't even think I wrote it down. I just kept being
Shoot,
like,
I didn't either. But anyway, the main female teacher, she has the whole time been kind of working with Jody because Jody's turnout is bad, her feet are bad, her technique is not close to anyone else's. So during class, she'll just call out, like, Jody, your turnout, whatever. And finally, Eva is like, you don't need to speak to her like that. We all heard you, whatever. And the teacher says, this is my classroom. I run it as I see fit. And if you don't like it, you're free to leave. And Eva leaves. And the teacher doesn't say anything after that, but her expression is so perfect. You can absolutely see what she's thinking. She's like, oh, maybe I am too hard on her. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm really causing this other student who's really good to leave. It's like there's
yeah.
so much to that one little look that she gave.
Same with at the end when she's watching Zoe Saldana and when she's watching Jodie and their final presentations.
Hmm.
She's just like, oh, and then and the way she smiles when Zoe Saldana is dancing, it's like it's beautiful
Yeah,
because she's like, I
it
knew she
is.
had it in her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like nonverbal stuff in this movie.
Hmm.
Like when before the gala or whatever they call it, they go and the students all watch Swan Lake being performed and they all love it. But Zoe Saldana's character, she's just like crying. Like she's so moved by
Yes.
it. And, you know, other than that, she doesn't really give any sort of indication that she actually really loves ballet. So I think that was just like a little powerful moment.
That is why I wish that we had just gotten more of anything from her, like any
Mm,
backstory,
yeah.
anything, because I can imagine in ballet as a black woman, like that
Hmm.
being a really difficult space to be in and having to
Yeah.
keep your guard up and having to like have a hardened shell because it is a uh,
Hmm.
very white thing. Like it's just,
Yeah.
as are many things. Um,
Hmm.
but instead of like giving us anything, they were just like,
Yeah.
she chews gum and she smokes cigarettes.
Right. Which I imagine being a woman of color is part of the reason why she is acting the way she is, because she doesn't feel like she will make it far in the ballet
Yeah,
world.
absolutely.
But we didn't get that, and all we got is that, oh, she actually is acting bad. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
could have had it be more like true to life with her actually being, because she does have very good technique. She could have just been a good student, and they could have shown like the stereotypes and the racism that's within the ballet world, and her still not being treated well,
Hmm.
which would have been more interesting and
But
accurate.
in 2000, we could not have that
No.
kind of nuance in a movie for, let's face it, white teenage girls.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because Eva, Eric, and then there was one other background dancer.
Mhm.
Were the only black people in the entire movie. And I don't think there was a single other ethnicity. at all. Like, I don't think there was any
No.
Asian people. I don't think there was any Hispanic people. Like, nothing.
Yeah. Which like, it like is a thing. Like I'm sure
Right.
that especially then it was just such a white institution.
Hmm.
And I don't think that all stories with people of color have to be about them fighting discrimination or blah blah blah, but like let's not
Yeah.
pretend that she has the same experience as Jody does at a
Hmm.
school like that. That's just
Exactly.
not true to life.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
And
It
instead of
was so
like, I don't know, having a little more nuance with that, it just made her look kind of bratty that she was like,
right.
I just don't want to do what I don't want to do. And it's like, well, then why are
Hmm.
we here, Eva?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It I want more.
Mhm.
Want more
That's why I said
of
this would
her.
be so great as a TV series
Hmm.
because there is this great moment between her and Eric where after
Yeah.
the roles come out for the
Yeah.
final presentation. Am I saying that? I
Workshop.
don't know. Workshop. I'm like presentations. I don't know anything about ballet,
Yeah.
obviously. She is really upset, obviously, and she's trying to act cool about it. And Eric's
Hmm.
like, doesn't it suck? And she's like, what? And he's like, not caring. And oh, it's beautiful. Such
Yes.
a beautiful moment. I'm like,
Yes.
I want more.
Their relationship was so
I love their
precious.
friendship.
I
Yes.
loved it. When they were out dancing, like, oh God.
It was the best relationship in the movie
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
was. Yeah, like the most developed, and it was nothing. There was nothing to it really. There was that scene, and there was the like club dancing scene.
Mhm.
But yeah, and at the end, when I mean the language used was not very good, but he's like Eva and Eric both get in, and he's like, well, they're taking head cases and cripples because I got into
Yeah, I was
yes,
like,
yikes.
oh,
But
oh,
you know,
it was rough.
nice sweet moment between them.
I knew that was coming too, because okay, I know this movie by heart,
Yeah,
and I didn't
same.
really realize that I did.
Hmm. Yeah. I know. I kept waiting for there to be like, things that I had forgotten. There was.
Nothing. Literally remembered
I don't
every
know.
single little thing. And
Yes.
this is a movie that moves so quick. It's just like bam, bam,
Hmm.
bam, bam, bam. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because they have these really awkward cutaway scenes sometimes. They have a cutaway scene, and it's after Marie talks to her mother and is like, take it all, bitch, which we need to get into.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it cuts away, and Cooper and Peter Gallagher are talking
Mm.
in the middle of a conversation. There's
Yeah.
nothing before that. It's just
No
like all of
lead
a sudden
up.
he's like, "You're jealous of me," or something like that. And it's like,
Hmm.
what is
What?
happening here?
It's as he's walking out of the studio too.
Yes.
And
But
he's
then
like,
there's a moment. Sorry, go ahead.
I got the girl.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then there's a moment at the very end where Maureen and her mother have it out, and we watch
Yeah.
the mom stand there and Maureen walk halfway across this big lobby, and I'm like, but why do we have that?
Right. Why is that necessary? And the mom's like doubled over, like sobbing. Calm down.
The editing is poor. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It is. Just the whole like film quality, like
It's
it's
bad.
like blurry. What's
It's bad.
the shaking at the end? I don't know if you noticed that, like right when the
Yes,
credits
I
start. Oh my
did.
God.
I was
It's
sick.
pretty
I was like, I
rough.
felt sick. I was like,
I
oh my
know.
God.
You know. I will say, okay, that is the one part that I don't think that I had really seen was after
After the
like while the
credits,
credits were rolling. I don't
same.
remember that. I don't know. I honestly, I was trying to remember. I don't know why I saw this so many times because I don't remember owning it. But I know I've seen it like 1,000 times.
Okay, yeah, should we just like kind of get into our histories? Because I feel literally the same way.
Yeah. What's your history?
So I know I saw this movie because at first I was like, oh, Ashley and I watch it because we did. You and I watched it all the time.
We definitely
But
did, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched this with my sister a lot. And I
Hmm.
think she might have had it on DVD. So maybe that's how we
Okay.
saw it.
Maybe, yeah. But I think that I saw it before I met you also, somehow.
I don't know. This is another movie where I'm like, don't remember how it came into our lives, but like
Yeah.
we became friends and we were both like center stage
Yeah,
and just like watched
we
it. We
loved
had to
it.
have watched this movie like every weekend, right? Because there's
Oh yeah,
how
all
else
the
do I
time.
remember everything?
Yeah, and like I haven't seen it in probably 10 years. You
Oh,
know?
I saw it about I must have seen it about 5 or so years ago. My sister and I watched it when I was in DC
Okay.
one
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
and double feature with Save the Last Dance, which is also
Got
a
it.
poorly aged movie, by the
Yes.
way.
Oh my God.
It's like too embarrassing to even like talk about as a movie, I think, because
Yeah.
I almost was like, oh, should we? And I was like, I don't think I can talk about that
Why
movie. It's
not?
too
No, yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my sister watched it all the time. So my thing is, there's this really funny tweet. Just bear with me for this. There's this funny tweet that's like all little boys turn 4 years old and make one of these their personality, and it's like bulldozers, tractors, dinosaurs, whatever. So like that's the
Yeah.
tweet. It makes me laugh because it's true.
Yeah.
My little nephew literally obsessed with like machinery, and we always
Yeah.
laugh about it. And then I was thinking, every girl turns 11 makes her personality cheerleading, ballet, horses, or like something else. Gymnastics maybe.
hmm
Like
Yeah,
not that we
absolutely.
do those things,
No.
but we only consume media about
Yes.
those.
Which like
And I think
why?
that's the equivalent.
Yes, I think so. I loved the idea of ballet for no reason. Like
hmm
why was
Ballet was
that?
mine too. I never really got into the whole gymnastics thing. Cheerleading, I did like Bring It On, obviously.
Yeah.
And sorry, I am like the least horse girl that there's ever been. I'm like not a horse girl at all.
Yeah.
Horses
I
frighten
liked
me.
I liked horseback riding for a while.
I
So
could see
that's
that actually.
yeah. Yeah. I was never like a
A
horse
horse
girl,
girl.
you know?
Yeah, everybody does. But yeah, I did ballet when I was 3 years old for like a year, and I'm not good at anything, so of course I didn't continue.
Mhm.
I just watched things that had dancers and all like the Babysitters Club had Jessie, who was a ballerina at 11. In Sweet Valley Twins, Elizabeth and Jessica both do ballet, and of course they're really fucking good at it because they're good at everything.
Yeah, of course.
There was this series that I had a couple books from. I think it was called Bad News Ballet. That was like a series for like first and second graders that I would read all the time as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I saw this movie, I guess, and I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, I love this.
Now, I guess thinking about it, I've done all of the things because I did used to do horseback riding. Not like, but my friend had a farm that had horses. We were just horseback
What?
ride. Yeah,
What?
Kristen.
Oh my God. Sorry. I'm crying. I don't know this about you.
New lore just dropped.
I know I it's kind of special though that we're still learning
Yeah.
things about each other.
Oh, it is.
Why am I crying?
But I did dance as like a 5-year-old. And
Mhm.
then my story with that, I this is
It's my
this has got to
favorite
be
thing.
PhD. I could not stick with anything. Like
This is my favorite thing ever about
I
you.
did 1 year and I loved it. And then when it was time to go back, my mom brought me in and I literally would not go in. And she had to like hold me. I was holding onto the door frame. And she was holding me like horizontal, like trying to get me into the door. And I was just like crying and screaming, like,
Do you,
no.
do you know that Ryan has to hear that story about you about once a month for me? I just tell it like it's my own story.
So ridiculous. Like, why
Oh,
was
it's
I so
so fun.
resistant? I
You're a
have no idea.
cartoon character.
I know. I can't
And,
do it.
and then you did gymnastics. I might have done
I did
gymnastics for
I
a
did
very small amount of
gymnastics.
time.
That one I wish that I would have like kept up with because I really liked that. It was when I was like, very slightly older. I was like 7 or 8 or something. And I was really good at it. I was really flexible. And then I think, I don't know, like my parents' schedule they couldn't do it.
You have always been really flexible.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been fun. Whatever. I probably would have the next year I would have done the same thing, but I did the other.
Yeah.
But then I also did cheerleading for a year. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's, let's not
Yeah.
get into it. I don't know. I was a small child.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
All
Yeah,
the things.
you really did all the things that I read about in in paperback books in the
Yeah.
90s.
Softball.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I loved this movie because it was such a different world than anything
Mhm.
I've ever seen. Because
Oh
and like
yeah.
I've never been so good at anything where I could like go and do that
Right.
thing.
Yeah. No. Me neither. Absolutely not. Yeah. I like the whole scene of like when they first get to New York and there's all the ballerinas like walking and they have their feet,
With their
they're
feet
so
out.
turned out.
I
And
love
then the
that.
Cosmic Girls song.
Hmm.
Should we talk about the soundtrack?
I would
Oh,
literally. I was I put my head up and then I was coming back down to say the soundtrack.
yes. Yes. Because that song, Cosmic Girl, is Jamiroquai. And also,
What a time. What a
I
time.
know, yeah. And Canned Heat, the one, is that in the final performance? Or it's in I think it's the rehearsal.
I can't remember. The main ones I remember, they have Candy, and then they also have I Wanna Be With You, both Mandy Moore. By
Yes.
the way, there is a Mandy Moore music video that has Charlie in it.
Hmm.
He only kind of stalks around and dances, and then there's like clips of the movie. It's not very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
As someone who is like a music video connoisseur, like it's not a good music video,
True.
Mandy.
Hmm.
But I remember those, and then there's the Way You Make Me Feel, which is
Yes. Michael Jackson.
yeah, but like also one of my favorite songs ever.
I know. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
Higher Ground. Like I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers version of Higher Ground, but it's like, ugh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why do you have to suck so much?
Hmm.
Anthony Kiedis. Ugh, God, that's terrible. We also like, okay, so we were talking about with Grease, the soundtrack. They didn't put in There Are Worse Things I Could Do. Candy is not even on the soundtrack. Hello?
It's like they play it all the way through,
I know.
right?
And like one of the best scenes when they're at the dance class, when Jody and Cooper just happen to be at this dance class together,
And they all just
which
know, everyone just
would not
knows all the
happen.
moves ever.
I know. I know. Yes. I also just want to throw out there, Mandy Moore was 15 when she
Hmm.
sang Candy and I Want to Be With You,
Yeah.
which what the actual fuck is
Yeah.
going on here?
Every time I see that music video, I think of that because she's driving a car and I'm like, you're not even old enough to
I
do
know.
that.
What is happening?
Yeah. And how much they
What
try
were
to
we doing?
sexualize her. And I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? I understand why she's had the career that she has, how she doesn't really sing poppy music anymore is
Mhm.
because like they wanted her to be a Britney Spears and she was a 14-year-old I don't
Yeah.
like
Well, so was
folksy
Britney Spears.
singer. Yeah,
So
oh
was
yeah.
Britney
She
Spears.
was
Oh
16. It was
God,
disgusting, yeah.
the worst. Christina Aguilera singing Genie in a Bottle at like that
Ugh.
age. Oh
It
my
came on
God.
at her prom and everyone
Can't
walked
even.
off the dance floor. It's awful.
Anyway, that's something else that we're not going to solve right
Just
now.
airing all of our
But
grievances
I love
about
those
it.
songs.
Yes, it's such a great
So good.
soundtrack. I The art of a good soundtrack is becoming more and
Mhm.
more lost in movies.
Yeah, yeah. I do think it's odd that they had such repeating. Like, why did they have two Jamiroquai and two Mandy Moore? You couldn't
That
find
was
others.
weird. And like the Candy and I Want to Be With You was like boom, was like
Oh
one
yeah,
song
right
in
after
between
another.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we, okay, we we got to talk about the whole Cooper and Jody thing because
Mhm.
I just
So here's the thing. I have no idea how old any of these characters are.
Jody is 18 years old. She has to be because I'm pretty sure her choices were to either go to Indiana U State University or whatever, or go
Mhm.
to this dance class. I think that Zoe is like 3 years older than her. I think she's like 21 or something. I think most of the people are between 19 and like 22 or something like that. But I
Mhm.
do think Jody is 18 years old.
Probably, yeah. it never says how old any of them are, but I don't know. I get confused because then they do go to like the club and they're drinking the margaritas and whatever, which, you can
Yeah.
fake IDs and all that. But like, how does Jodie have a fake ID? She's not the type.
But
She wouldn't
I
have
think that
one.
maybe like someone was buying them and she was just like, you know what I mean? Like, because
Charlie
like
bought
I
them.
did that. Who did? Oh, Charlie. Yeah. So maybe he
Charlie
was
bought them.
21.
Maybe. I
But
don't know.
I do remember going to like gay 90s where it's like an 18 plus club. And
Yeah.
they're very loosey goosey, at least back in the
Right.
day. We're very
Yeah.
loosey goosey. And I would go with older
25
friends and they
years
would just be
ago, I'm
like
sure it was
feeding
even.
me drinks, you know? No,
Yeah.
and I was just like drinking them and it was no big deal. So
hmm
probably that sort of situation, but they do keep it intentionally vague, I feel like.
They do. Yeah. So, Cooper Nielsen, also don't know, but probably 30s, I would assume.
28 at least, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to be. Because he is already like professional dancer. He's starting to be a choreographer. Like he's established in the ballet world.
He had been with her for like 10 years, they said. His ex, the one that gets with Peter
I think they just
Gallagher.
said years. I don't think they
Oh,
specified how long, but
okay. I was
still, I
just
mean,
making things up in my head because the movie didn't tell me anything.
I know, yeah, like how, what? But yeah, so he's quite a bit older and he is just a womanizer. He just gets with anyone. I felt so bad for Jodie in that scene because they go to this dance class. She notices him, he notices her. They had this whole thing earlier where Jonathan doesn't remember Jodie's name, and Cooper's like, "Oh, I would never forget the name of a beautiful girl." Uh,
Blah.
uh, and then they have sex, and immediately after, he's like, "Do you need anything? Water, whatever, cookies?" And then he goes and he like listens to his voicemail. How
As you
insulting.
do.
Oh my God. I cannot even imagine. What?
I felt so bad for her because like it's clear that she was young. She's from Indiana and she's like
hmm
in the big city for the first
Yeah,
time and stuff. But oh my God, Jody, get one hint, one single
I
hint. And
know.
then she
Yeah,
kept on acting like he was her boyfriend. She would say like
I
boyfriend. I'm like,
know.
you
Like
guys
I'm
slept together
seeing
one
someone or
time.
yeah, yeah. And after that there was no
Nothing.
no like sense that they were together at all.
No. And I understand because like yeah, being young it's hard and like liking someone
Mhm.
and then they don't like you back and like I know for a fact I made my lots
Yeah.
of cringy choices. It's really hard to watch. It's really hard.
Mhm.
Especially
It
when
really is.
she's just like with her like high-pitched voice and like her blonde hair, you're just like grow up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like seriously, take a hint.
Yeah.
Because he's like leaving the other ballet with another girl. She
Yeah.
goes there. He won't even talk to her.
It's so embarrassing. And when
Jesus.
she hands him the cookies, I'm like, "Oh, I wanted
Oh
to
my
melt
God.
into the floor
Yes.
in a bad way."
Oh God.
Because at the end, when he asks her to be a part of the like her ballet, and then she tells him like that's the case, he goes in for a kiss, which
hmm
I'm like, why?
I
Why
know.
would
Why
you
are
do
you doing
like that?
that?
Has
Yeah.
why is the movie pretending like this was always a viable option? And then she's like, no,
hmm
you're a better choreographer than a boyfriend. I'm like, you were not dating,
No. No. They weren't dating. Also, like, I don't know. I'm just being cynical, but like
please.
I feel like like it was like okay. It was right after the showcase, workshop, whatever. And Cooper comes up to Jody and says, like, oh, this lady, okay, we didn't even talk about the whole philanthropist lady, old lady who Cooper is like flirting with to get money, which in the beginning, he's like, why does that seem wrong? And then he just completely goes with it. Uh,
Mhm.
so he's like, she is funding my new company and you're going to be its star. And she does, he doesn't give any sort of detail on what that means. Like, it's star, okay.
I want to see a contract.
Yes, right? Yes. There's no contract, there's no anything. She doesn't agree to it because they
Yeah,
call her name to see if she gets into the American Ballet Company.
theater. Yeah,
Yeah. Com company in the movie
company.
theater. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Sorry. Yeah, in real life.
So she goes in, which I love this scene. I really do, because she's like,
Oh,
if you're
really?
gonna say I did, yeah.
Sorry.
I
Okay, I'm
did.
so sorry. I felt the complete opposite. I felt
Oh
the
gosh.
complete opposite. I'm
Like
so sorry.
without the context of her really even like knowing whatever else. But
Sure.
if there would have been more, like if she really knew what it meant to be in Cooper's company, I think it's a good scene.
Here's why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It felt like they kept on trying to give her these powerful moments that she just did not earn at all. Where she,
Mm.
like the one that I was talking about, where she was like, "You're not a good boyfriend, but you're a good choreographer." It's like,
Yeah.
well, that means nothing, actually. And in
Yeah.
this one, where she walks in there and she's like, "I don't even want to know if I got in," and I'm like, "Girl, I don't think you got in."
Yeah.
To me, like, I'm sorry. I was really, to be cynical, as you said, like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think they're gonna pick you. There's a lot of really
Yeah.
good dancers, and you're not that good. Even though, like, yes, that was a very enjoyable last little bit. I just
Hmm.
don't think that that
It
proves much.
it wasn't an ABC kind of
Yeah,
performance. And Jonathan hated it.
Jonathan
Absolutely hated it.
and
And
the
Kathleen.
the instruct the our main instructor girl that we loved, they just didn't say one word during that entire scene when she was in there, and I think they were like, good, because we weren't gonna ask you to be it.
Yes,
No
pretty
offense,
much.
Jody.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she's like, if you are gonna offer it to me, I don't think I'd have the strength to say no. And if you aren't, I don't want to hear it
Hmm.
because, I don't want to spend my best years waving a rose back and forth, basically. And what I was saying, okay, here's the other thing. What made me like it even more when I was reading about Zoe Saldana's experience with ballet, she should have been the main character.
She should have
Absolutely
been the main
100%.
character. Yeah.
Because what she said about why she didn't like pursue ballet further is that she had bad feet, which is what they said about Jodie. And she was like, I knew that I was better than just being in the back of the corps for my whole career, which is like what Jodie was going
Holy
for. It's like that
shit.
was Jodie's, that was Eva's story,
Yeah.
real
That
Zoe story.
Yeah, but Zoe Saldana would never have been tricked by Cooper. The thing
Oh
that I
no,
loved about
never.
her too, she did some good facial acting.
Hmm.
So when Marine, we're like so all over the
I
place.
know. People are like, what is this movie about?
Which you should know what it's about,
Watch it.
okay?
Nope, 25 years.
Mm, no spoilers. When Jim comes and hits on Marine, and he's laying it on thick. It's cute though.
Yeah.
It's a cute moment.
Mm,
There's all of the girls from the academy, and
yeah.
they're all like, "Oh," and she just rolls her eyes and walks
Yeah.
away. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
It is. It is good.
She's
But
really
yes,
good.
my thing is that with Cooper being the way that he is, I think that if Jody were to be like, no, I'm not going to be with you, I'm not going to keep having sex with you, I think he wouldn't even have her in the company. I think she wouldn't even have a
Mm,
spot, you know? Like, I think that that was
uh,
part of it. That Cooper was like,
maybe.
hey, you're going to be in my company, you're going to be a star, and you're going to be my toy, basically.
That makes sense because of how he treated his ex, who he still danced with, where he like
Hmm.
would kiss her on the neck. She's married to someone else. He would kiss
Yes.
her on the neck in front of other people. I was like, you're
Yeah.
disgusting. You have no boundaries. Going back
Hmm.
to this whole how old is she and how old is he? Either
Hmm.
way, he has power over her.
Right.
This is not like this is not a good thing. This is
Right.
gross.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Back when I first watched it, I was like, he's an asshole, obviously. But now I'm like, okay, he should be fired from his job because
Yeah. Yeah.
that is
And
unethical.
I mean, definitely unethical. But I mean, he didn't even have to keep that job anymore because this old rich lady was willing to give him his own company. So then he
Mm,
gets even
mm,
more
mm, mm,
power
mm.
for being a jerk.
It's so hard because
Big
Cooper's
jerk.
such an asshole, but Jody is just,
Hmm.
I just, I find her pretty annoying, and I've tried really hard
Yeah.
to not. I like to give our
Hmm.
gals, the benefit of the doubt. But she was just like
Yeah.
so starry-eyed that I was like, can we? I think it wasn't even that because I think that's a character that can be worked into more. But the fact that she just kept having things happen to her rather than like her driving any of her story, she was chosen
Yes.
by Cooper to dance. She was like, even Charlie talked her into going back in after she had that fight with Cooper. Like, all of
Mm.
these things happen because of other people, nothing she does. So I guess in that way, that last like I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna join your dance company, even if you want me to. I guess in that
Hmm.
way, that is the first time that she has that. But that's why I think it falls so flat for me, is because
Yeah.
she never, she doesn't really have anything inside of her that tells me that she would do
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Yeah. I feel like her character, she would have wanted to know and then she would have said yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. That is such a good point. I think that Zoe Saldana should have been the main character. I think it would have been so good. Obviously, like we weren't gonna have that. It was 2000. It's 2000,
Yeah.
But she's such a better actress and she's
Hmm.
just so much stronger and everything like her dancing was stronger too. They had to make Jodie so bad, so
Hmm.
bad so that people were
Yeah,
like, "Oh, she is bad." But it just made her look like why is she here?
exactly. And what didn't make sense to me is like, even during the audition, they were like, her turnout isn't good. She has bad feet. And they were like, but look at her. And then, like, what does that mean? I don't know. But when
Right. Exactly.
when Jonathan had the meeting with her, he was like, your turnout's bad, you have bad feet. And then she was like, I don't remember the name, but she was like, so and so didn't have great feet. Oh, Margot Fontaine. Okay, when Margot Jonathan's like, when Margot Fontaine was on stage, you couldn't take your eyes off of her. And it's like, well, isn't that what they were saying? Like in the audition? Like that it didn't matter because she was so like whatever. I don't know.
Yes. And that's what
And
Zoe
then she
Saldana
just
would have
lost
shown
that whole part
us.
of it. I don't get it.
Yeah. That's what she would have shown us because she was captivating on stage.
But she also had good technique.
Yeah.
Zoe Saldana did.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. Can we
The whole
quickly, I
thing
know
didn't
that
make any
we
sense.
we got some things to wrap up, but can we quickly talk about that last everything?
The
The sh
last everything.
the last
Yes.
everything. You know what I mean.
Yeah. So the final performance for Jodie is she gets the role as the star in Cooper's choreographed ballet,
Hip
which
hop ballet pretty much like it's trying to be like this cool.
yes. And the whole
Oh.
story is that there's Jodie and then there's the there's her boyfriend and then there's her boyfriend is wait, which one's which? Now I'm getting confused. One of them is the director of the company, and then
Mhm.
there's also her boyfriend.
Who rides a
And then she
motorcycle
like
and has leather
falls with
pants.
yes, it was leather pants.
Okay, I'm embarrassed for this movie to have
Yes,
done the final ballet as the story of the movie. Oh, what the
I
fuck?
know.
This
I
is
know.
embarrassing.
Yes. Like the story of the movie and also like the story within
Yeah,
the movie. Like it's like 10 layers.
they ballet fuck on stage.
They do. She takes off her little
Okay,
her
wait,
leotard.
because first of all, Eric is supposed to be that part, which I kept on trying to imagine Eric as that part, and
I
hilarious.
know.
Absolutely
There's
not.
no
Love
way.
Eric, but absolutely not. But he ends up hurting himself. And then Cooper is like, okay, I'll just be the lead because he's
Hmm.
the worst. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're a loser. You're a fucking loser,
Yeah.
Cooper. And so he's playing this part and he takes her to another set, by the way, to another set on the stage, by the way.
Yeah.
Where did that come
I
from? Takes off her like leotard on a bed and she's in a bra and underwear and they like
yeah.
ballet fuck.
Yeah. They do.
And I'm just like, her parents are there.
I know. I
I'm
know.
not trying to be
It's
a
so
prude,
weird.
but like, I would, I would literally die if my parents saw me ballet fucking. I got secondhand embarrassment.
I know, I did too. It's so weird. And yes, he drives the motorcycle on stage.
Oh, what a loser. I'm sorry, what a loser. We
I
get it, you're
know,
cool. You're the ballet
I know.
rebel.
Like, you're gonna choreograph this whole thing and just make it your life story. Come on, Cooper, get out of here. And the thing is, like, for Jody, like that's Jody's story. But for him, that was Kathleen's story. That was Kathleen that he was ballet fucking, you know?
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
I was thinking about how like she's pissed off at him for all the wrong reasons. Like I'd be like, this is like my life. Oh,
right.
what are you doing?
Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch, but it was like, oh, this is nonsensical. And there are
Yeah.
points when she cha like her outfit changes on stage, and all of a sudden she's wearing different shoes. It doesn't make any sense. And then it cuts to a point where she has this really intricate like hairstyle and like this whole
Mhm.
different face of makeup, and it's like, well, when did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah. And I
Be
get like
realistic.
in a ballet, like I don't know how long these are supposed to be. Like in an actual ballet, you would have like two acts. You could, in between acts, you could do this whole
Mhm.
change of whatever. But the way that they portrayed it on stage was like it just happened in
The cut was immediate.
yeah, which no. Hmm.
It
Not
was bad cuts. They
happening.
should have done something in between that. I don't know, something, anything in
Yeah.
between that. Like
Yeah.
even I don't know, something, but it was like so automatic that it was she was in this like little dress and her hair was like all curled and stuff, and then all of a sudden she was like in com in hair and makeup that would have taken 20 minutes at least.
Yeah. Because even if you were to have like an intermission, it still would have taken too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah, it was very unrealistic. I
Yeah.
know that's stupid, but I'm like, what is it was just the whole thing where I like Cooper did have a lot of charm. I thought that he was a
Mhm.
very charming guy, especially because he is
Yeah.
a dancer first and an actor second. I thought that he was
Right.
really good in this. But his character was such a fucking loser. I could not get
Mhm.
over that.
Yeah. He was awful. We have to talk about we didn't get into the joke. We got to get into
Oh, we gotta
the
get into that
joke.
real quick.
Okay. So and this leads into the whole Maureen's eating disorder, which, oh my God. Okay, so Maureen gets asked out by Jim, who was a caterer at the event. They go and they bowl. And she's like, I've never bowled before. She's like, I've never done anything before. My whole life has been ballet because my mom's a terrible person. And never had any other experience.
I know it's like the
And
first day she's ever bowled or had pizza, I'm pretty
I
sure.
know, yeah. She was like so afraid to eat the pizza and drink the beer and have the
Oh,
ice cream. And then she develops an eating disorder and she starts throwing up everything. And
I think that it was a consistent thing that she had an eating disorder.
to me, I mean, I think that she had an eating disorder in that she
Okay, but
probably
not the
wasn't really eating much at
purging.
all. But yeah, I think the purging was new
Okay,
because I think that she just wasn't allowing herself to really eat anything that would have
got it.
made her
Yeah.
think that she would need to do that. Um, but anyway, the whole joke thing, which Matt was watching this with me. He thinks this is the worst joke ever told in anything. He doesn't even think it's a joke. He was so mad about this.
Did you tell him how you and I used to just be like, take it all bitch to each other all the time? Like,
Oh, and I
that's
was
the
like,
quote that
I
we
don't think it's
said.
like the best like joke ever,
No,
but it's a good
but
and it made it so that like it had to be long enough that they could show this whole like Maureen's conflicted about eating this. And then like when she was trying to tell her mom, she had to have enough time to where the mom could interrupt her and then she could just tell the punchline. So anyway,
that's a great moment. That is such a great
yes.
moment.
Yes. So they go in. Am I telling the whole joke? What am I doing here?
I don't think I can you tell a short version of
I can try to
this?
tell a short version. They're in the jungle. There's an elephant has a thorn in its foot. This mouse comes along. The elephant's like, "Can you help me take this out?" He's like, "No, you stepped on my uncle." And then the, the elephant says, "Please help me." I'll do anything. The mouse says, I want to have my way with you. So the mouse has sex with the elephant, and then the monkeys see they're throwing the coconuts at the elephant and the mouse because they're like, what the hell is going on? And the elephant gets hit by the coconut. And he's like, ow, ow. And the mouse says, yeah, take it all, bitch.
So stupid. And
It's so stupid.
she's trying to tell her mom this, and her mom just keeps interrupting and being
Yeah.
like, talking about dancing, and she's just like, so the so the mouse says, "Take it all, bitch," and she just walks
It just
away. It's
walks away.
so good.
Yes,
See,
it's so good.
that's the kind of feeling I wanted when Jodie did her last little thing, and I feel like
Yeah.
I got that from that dumb joke.
Yes. Yeah. Like the joke did more for the movie than
Mhm.
Jodie did.
I really liked Marine's story. Can we?
I
I know
did
that we're running
too.
long,
I
but
know,
can we
that's
get into that
okay.
real quick?
We're
Okay.
recording the AMAs. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So.
So, yeah. Yes, Maureen. They made her out to be this huge bitch, which the whole time I didn't even think she was. She just was kind of like awkward and like really serious about ballet, which, yeah, you're at this school. Why wouldn't you be?
Like
And
she comes in, and I think we're supposed to think she's a bitch because she tells Zoe Saldana she can't smoke up in the dorm
mhm,
rooms.
yeah,
You should
which
I
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get it's 2000, but yeah, like if you don't want people smoking in your room and it's a rule that you can't.
Also, I was like, all these ballerinas fucking smoking. I'm like, they are working so hard in their
I
poor
know.
little lungs.
Yeah. Oh, I did love, absolutely love the scene where Zoe puts
Yep.
out the cigarette with her point shoe on the
I
top. Oh, so good. Best
How
scene.
did I know? That's exactly what you were gonna say. I was just like, yep, yep, yep. Keep
Mhm.
going. I love that. I made a note of that.
Yeah, it
I liked the Jim character. I thought that was kind of sweet. He kind of
was
was a little
cute.
bargain basement, Paul Rudd and Clueless, like that he kind of looked
Mm-hmm.
and acted like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I I thought that they had a lot of chemistry. I didn't think that Charlie and Jodie had any chemistry. The
not
two
really.
people I thought that had really good chemistry was Cooper and Peter Gallagher.
Oh my God. Yes. They had a secret affair.
I,
That was the
then they
whole
were like
thing.
talking in that scene at that one show. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, guys, just
Yeah.
admit that you love each other. I don't.
Yeah. Like, who cares who got the girl, okay?
Yeah, let's stop pretending this is about a girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let there's just fuck already.
Come on. But yes, Maureen. Maureen
Sorry.
was fine.
It's fine.
And Jim was so, so sweet to her.
Hmm.
And the scene, oh my God, Eric gets injured. Okay, so Jim has like seen her, heard her throwing up several times, and she gets really mad at him. She's like, "You don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is ballet. I have to do this."
I'm the
He's a
best
med
damn
student.
dancer.
Yes, yes.
Who
I'm
are
the
you?
best goddamn ballet dancer at the American Ballet Academy. Who are you?
Who are you?
Nobody.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
So good.
And I just love the fact that she, in 10 Things I Hate About You, is the one who's involved with Shakespeare. Just like, yeah, that's all I can think about. Then Eric gets injured and she goes back to Jim's apartment and she's like, the first thing I thought when I saw him go down is I wish that was me and that's not a normal reaction. So how much of what you liked about me was because I was a ballet dancer and how much because I was me. And
That
oh
made
my
me tear up.
God. Oh, me too.
I mean, she's an actress. She was so good in
Yes.
this.
Oh, she was so good.
Hmm. And it was funny because you really didn't see her dance a lot. It's like,
No,
you know
not
what I mean?
really. Yeah, and she was
Like
supposed to
she
be
would be
like
like,
the best dancer.
she'd like have her arms up.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
they
when
were
they would
like,
cut to it.
yes, from above, not below. What does that mean? They
Eh,
said hold your arms up from above, not below.
I don't
I don't get
know. I
it.
don't know. It seems really hard to be a ballerina
It does.
or a ballerino. Um,
Yeah.
that scene at the beginning where they're all one of the biggest scenes for me from this movie, the most like artistically shot one was when they're they're all getting their point shoes
Oh,
ready and they're
I
like
love that
shaving them
scene.
and like wedding. Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Yes. And when it shows Jodie's feet all
Oh,
fucked
that's
up.
disgusting.
Oh my God.
Ugh. It was like bruised and bloody.
Hmm.
Do you have anything else, sir? Should we do some final thoughts?
Let's just do our final thoughts.
I still love this movie, but I think that when I watch it again, I don't know if I can watch that last scene. It gives me secondhand embarrassment to see Cooper doing that and to see like J Jodie. I guess I didn't realize how much Jodie was playing her life out on stage,
Oh
and like
yeah.
how like dumb that is.
Hmm. It's really dumb. It's really dumb. Just like that's your whole thing is like you're between these two guys.
I'm sorry, Charlie, you were too good for her. Like
Yeah.
what? There's not even anything there.
No, there wasn't anything. Nothing.
No, and I think that Zoe Saldana would have been so fucking good in the Jodie role. I love Maureen this time around even more. I thought she was a really
Mhm.
complicated character. Her mom made me want to like punch her in the face. I was like,
Yeah.
That's all she talked about. All she talked about was dancing." And Maureen, the funny thing about Maureen is that like as soon as she got a tiny taste of freedom of a world outside of that, she was like, "Oh, I'm done with that's what I
Yeah.
want."
Yeah. She's like, I just happen to be good at ballet, but there's so much more to life.
Yeah. And then on those credits afterwards where they're showing the future, she's at
She went to
college and she looks so
college.
happy.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah. And Peter Gallagher is just the one of the hottest men on
Yeah.
earth. And it's
Yeah.
hard. I forget every time that I he comes on screen and I'm like, that is such a good looking man.
The hair,
From the OC,
eyebrows.
not from One Tree
I'm
Hill, I swear to
sorry. I
God.
haven't seen either one. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I do just want to say too, I haven't seen the sequels. There's two
They
sequels.
look bad.
They look pretty bad.
I read the Wikipedia articles for both and I was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. I don't know. And then apparently 5 years ago for the 20th anniversary, they all got together and they announced that they were in
And then
production for a TV series, which would be so good.
continuing like with the same characters after.
Yeah. Like Cooper was the director of the company now. Because Cooper and Peter were in both of the sequels too.
Yeah, yeah, which is
Cooper and
weird.
Peter. That's one character name and one actor name. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, exactly. And I think that Charlie was in the third one as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about that, but then like COVID happened and then the writer's strike. So I just think that because I searched after I saw that,
Hmm.
I was like, damn, I gotta see this. And I
Yes,
searched
it'd be
everywhere and I
so
couldn't find
good.
anything else on there.
No, me neither. I hope it happens someday, but
Yeah.
we'll
I
see.
mean, Clueless, Legally Blonde, we're getting all sorts of new stuff, so why not?
It's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's make it happen. Hollywood,
Hollywood, if that is your name.
are you listening?
But how do you feel about the movie?
No, I love this movie.
Yeah,
I
it's
do think
good.
that like the things that I think you're supposed to feel about the characters are not the ways that I think about them now
Hmm.
as a grown woman. But I still love it. I think the
It's
story,
fun.
it's so fun. It's so fun. And it is really fast paced. Like,
It was over before you can do it. I think it's kind of funny that you said that you haven't seen One Tree Hill, you haven't seen the OC,
mhm.
because when I was thinking about what we're gonna do for next time, I was
Oh
like, okay, I
boy.
was like kind of thinking like dancing, blah blah blah, but I'm like, we've been doing dancing, we've been doing it. So I was like, okay, what is another central thing in this movie, which is New York City? And what
Oh,
TV show is set in New York City that shows some shit that I was so into and wanted to be like, just like I wanted to be a dancer at the American Ballet Academy, which is Gossip Girl.
oh my God.
And I know you've never seen
I've
it.
never seen it.
And it's another thing that's gonna age the worst. And
Yes.
I cannot wait until you watch it. So we're gonna watch the
So
pilot of
excited.
Gossip Girl and discuss it for next
Oh, it's
episode.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
So
you're
excited.
gonna be like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And then I'm gonna be hooked and I'm gonna watch the whole series.
Well, the funny thing is the first episode, they just did not like it feels so different than all the other ones.
Yeah.
But like considering they're the same characters, you're gonna be like, so we're supposed to be rooting for Chuck after this?
I don't think so.
But yeah, so join us on the next episode
That's
for the
exciting.
pilot of Gossip Girl. I'm excited.
Yes.
I haven't watched it in quite a while. So,
Can't wait.
all right. We're gonna go watch some Taylor Swift on the
Yes.
American Music Awards.
Wish us
Uh,
luck for some
but
kind of announcement. There's not gonna be anything.
we're gonna be clowning all over the damn place. But follow us on Instagram at Nostalgic Nightcaps and rate and review on whatever podcast platform you are currently listening. And tell us there or in the Instagram comments, what should they tell us?
If there are any other good teen dance movies, because
Ooh,
I'm in the
okay.
dance mood.
Um, I do know Ryan watched this show. I did not. But Bunheads was
Oh,
a
okay.
TV show. It's
Okay.
by Amy Sherman Palladino, who did Gilmore Girls.
Oh, okay.
Wait, have you ever seen Gilmore Girls?
I have
Okay.
seen some episodes of Gilmore Girls, like
Okay.
several, but I've never like
Okay.
really watched it,
I was just such more of a WB gal than you were. Like
Yeah.
I was all over that shit. So I'm
Gotta get
excited
into
to
it now.
introduce you to a whole nother world.
I know, I'm excited.
All right, let's go clown
Yeah.
around now.
Let's do it.
All right, bye.
Bye.